This is Karumbi Davis of Karumbi Realty International. Hope you've all had a wonderful week and look forward to a wonderful Labor Day weekend with our lockdown, but maybe plan something special. And this week, Doug had a birthday in the company and he adds so much to our agents' lives and their real estate practices. And, I thought about doing something special. And of course, with the lockdown, we have to abide by the rules, and even though we can show homes, we cannot be going to the office for birthday parties. So anyway, I was thinking, how does this be a little fun for the team, a celebration of Doug, appreciation, and what I decided to do was have everybody have a candle. They could bring their own candle, they could put a candle in a little cupcake, and then come to the Zoom meeting. We did a Zoom meeting. And basically just express maybe something that they appreciated about Doug. And it was tremendous. It was fabulous. We really believe in working with a team for our clients. I'm a very strong believer in real estate today. You cannot service the client without having a team behind that client. There's so many different facets of what we do. But it was very successful. And then one of the agents, actually Jessica, who you met last month as Agent of the Month, she actually plays ukulele and she did a happy birthday song that she created her own words to. So it was really fun. So maybe try it with your co-workers, with your family. But I just wanted to share that today for everyone. Anyway, today is exciting. We talk about why some luxury homes sell and others don't. We always get that question when we meet our new clients, and there's quite a few reasons. And after being in this business over 30 years, experience and experienced, successes and non-successes can turn into successes as you learn from them. But before we go there, let me bring up some charts here that show you what went on in the market this month and where we're at with the luxury market. And I'm fortunate today, Jamie is sharing the screen, our marketing director, as I'm at home, as we had a power outage at work. So we have to be flexible in this day and age, don't we? Anyway, just to let you know, the highest sale for single families was $10,488,000. It was oceanfront home in Kailua, and the condominium highest sale was $8.3 million, and that was at Park Lane down in the Kaka'ako area. A wonderful 3-bedroom luxury condo with its own swimming pool and 2-car garage. There's only 9 properties like that in the luxurious building Park Lane. Median price, just to give you some history on that for single family homes, as you can see, was $1,880,000. That was down from last August 2019, which was over $2 million, and just a little down from July, but it's still up there. Closed sales, 43 it shows. That was up by 9 from last year and up from 7 from July. So it's still higher than it was a year ago with the COVID, of course. Condominiums, there were 6 sales, and thank you, be appreciative. That was actually down by 4 from August 2019, but up from last month, 1 extra sale there. And as far as days on the market goes, it was 8 days slower than August last year, but 6 days slower than July. So a little slower, but still within the range. And as far as luxury condominiums go, it was 12 days faster than back in August 2019, which is nice to see, and a little slower than July, but I did see quite a few of the luxury condos, especially on the Gold Coast, down at the Diamond Head area, going to escrow, which was nice to see because those properties can stay on the market for a long time sometimes, but it seemed like there was a surge of people buying in that area last month. I'll have Jamie, I'll have you. And what I wanted to start with is basically, when I went to start this talk today, I thought, where do I begin with this? There's so many reasons some homes are successful that sell and others aren't. So I've divided that into 5 different categories. And let me go over the categories I put here. Is first of all, the right time. Secondly, the history of sales in an area. 3, the competition. 4, pricing, and 5, marketing. And under each of those headings today, I'm going to give you a very brief explanation of where my thoughts on each of those categories are. The right time. For instance, I'm starting to see bigger homes sell with this COVID here. It's a new way of living. People want to be able to have their family close to them. I was speaking to a client in San Francisco the other day, and he was from actually China. He moved from Honolulu, went to LA, and now is moving. His family wanted them all in San Francisco, and they have a huge home that they bought there for, I believe, 3-generation families. We'll be seeing that. And again, these bigger homes, this is the time to sell right now. Interest rates, amazing. It's a great time to be selling homes. Just yesterday, I was on the phone with a client, and he was mentioning to me that he was getting a jumbo mortgage for like 2.5%. They were usually running 3.3%, and they were down at 2.5 yesterday with a lender he was talking to. The stock market uncertainty, that is definitely bringing some money into the real estate market, where people are taking those gains they've received over the last couple of years and buying their dream property, buying investment property for their family or for their children. But I believe what you really need to do as an experienced realtor is know, what's going on in the economy, how is that affecting the housing market, and whether a client's house, it's the right time for that client's house right now. Very, very important. With unique properties are usually a little tougher to sell. You're finding that one specialized buyer, and this may be the market to do it, because we're in times where people are looking for something a little more different than the run-of-the-road condo or house. They want that maybe a huge land area, privacy out in the middle of the country. Right now, I'm seeing areas 40 minutes out of downtown Honolulu where there's a lot of acreage property, and it was always very silent, the neighborhood, but people are making inquiries now. They want that privacy, they want the quietness. History of sales. I've always, if there's a history of sales in an area, it makes a lot easier to sell a home in any kind of market, actually, even today's market. I'll give you an example. I noticed just lately there's been some homes on Kahala Avenue, modern homes, between 6.5 to 7.8 million, and they're selling in a week or 2 weeks. And my theory on that is there's already a market there. So if somebody was to put a modern home on the market there right now, it would probably sell in a week to 2 weeks in those higher prices. A year ago, it would sit there for a year. And there's a few homes I could give examples on that also. So now, again, the right time for a history of sales depends, and speak to your experienced realtor, and they'll let you know whether those sales are there and it's a good time to be selling right now. Competition, third, what's your competition right now? We definitely have a supply issue still, and the demand is is really pent up. The supply because we have such a low supply before COVID and now during COVID, truly luxury homes are selling right now. Again, at the right time to be putting your home on the market, even though with all the unfortunate negativity towards the economy, the recession, etc., there's still a lot of buyers out there. Maybe not as many now during COVID as there was before, but before there was so many buyers that they're able to absorb a little less buyers and still be a very active market right now. To give you an idea of competition, though, very importantly, is knowing your different markets. People just don't buy in one area. They look at all the different neighborhoods here on Oahu. For example, I was just thinking the other day, I saw an incredible buy up in Hawaii Lower Ridge. I believe it was about 4,700 square feet for $3.2 million. There was a house in Kahala, similar style, that sold for about $4.5 million. So that house for $3.2 in Hawaii Lower Ridge has been on and off the market the past year, And I believe you'll see that house go into escrow very shortly, because the quality, the view, and the availability of, there's not many homes like that right now. And our third, going into pricing. Pricing is also an important aspect, of course, why some luxury homes sell and others don't. And it's very important that real estate brokers know the market. They're on the market daily, giving their client feedback, why this, what's going on with the rates, where the buyers are coming from, what's going on in the business, etc. And really narrowing on that price range. And it is a science. If I look at my peer group, some very successful realtors here on Oahu, they price properties well. And something like a slight adjustment from, say, 5.5 million to 5.2 million will make a huge difference in people's psychology on seriously looking at that house and putting an offer in. If you look at the house that I mentioned to you, the highest sell last month on the beach in Kailua, it sold for $10,488,000. Well, it was originally listed for $12.5 million, but when they dropped that price to $10.950, it had a contract within a week or so. So those adjustments are huge to stay on top of the market. If you don't stay on top of the market, I'll give you an example of another home. This was a couple of years ago. It was listed at 5.7 million or 5.9, I believe. And I just noticed in the solds for Kahala the other day, it just recorded for $4 million. Had that home come on maybe for 4.8 million, they probably would have got more money. So it's just really analyzing the market and pricing well to get top dollar for your home right now. And that's our job as a realtor, is to really get top dollar for our client and have statistics to back that up. So when you do get an agent with their client, you're able to talk intelligently of, if they ask you, where did you price the property? And you can show the property and the pricing where it's all very logical and very enticing for somebody to put an offer in. Knowing construction too is good in pricing. I saw a home the other day in East Oahu, and after looking at with my investor client, he said, this is land value. It's too expensive to remodel this house. So really important, can this house be remodeled or can it be remodeled? And then price for land value or for remodeling value. Because I believe this home that we saw will certainly sit on the market for quite some time until I believe the seller sells it for land value. The positioning of the property was superb, but at the same time, it has to make sense of what you're selling. Land, a fixer-upper, how much of a fixer-upper, how much construction, how much remodeling. And that's, Doug and I both built homes over our 30 years plus in the business, and knowing construction, knowing the costs, knowing what it will take to do what a buyer wants to do with a property is very important to have that knowledge when selling luxury land, luxury fixer-uppers, etc. The fourth thing that I'll mention is, of course, marketing. I love marketing. I love being creative, and right now I'm getting tested with the COVID. With the COVID, you have to think of all these different ways to get the property out there. And, it's the biggest thing right now, I believe, is the visual effect. And the visual is, how do you get the floor plan, the flow of the home, the special features of the home. And very, very important, there's now they've got the 3D Matterport videos, which have been around, by the way, but now you'll find a lot more listings using them. And funny enough, the most recent listing that I had, it took 3 visits to get the photos correct. And the photos, I was trying to find something. It was such a beautiful floor plan, but one that took a lot of effort to get it correct so people understood the home. And I must have spent 20 hours with photographers working on the photos, working on the visual effect, positioning the stage in which the property was already beautifully furnished. There wasn't a lot more to do. But again, putting the pieces together. So when it was on the internet, people could make sense of the property and the beauty that it offered. And that brings a thought too, is these days, you know, owning a boutique company, people go, oh, you need a large franchise. Well, with experience, you don't. You just you use the internet. People now use the internet when they're searching for properties. And it's very important that your marketing is superb, whether you're a boutique company, you're from a large national company. And very importantly, that you follow up and return phone calls. Believe it or not, you know, one of the famous questions is, oh, what do you do for marketing? And, you know, realtors, seasoned realtors all have similar marketing tools. But the one thing that sets the cream of top of realtors out there is they follow up within minutes of calls coming on their phone. Very, very importantly. Marketing, there's so many things to do with marketing, and I could spend a whole session on that today. But I believe I'll just leave it where I'll end here. And what I wanted to do is very important, just to sum up why some homes luxury sell and others don't, is the 5 keys that I just put together for you here. And I value you. Call me, text me if you've got questions. You question anything I say today, you want further information on that. It's a very intricate business. It seems simple, but it really isn't. Anyway, let's go to Marianne's photos today and see what surprises she has for us of enjoying the islands. And what she's bringing us today is actually the flora and fauna. And she's put this as turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. And the first photo, of course, is plumeria, you know, being an ornamental tree with fragrant flowers that comes in a wide variety of colors. And they can decorate yards, and the flowers are used to make leis and hair ornaments. And one little fact she's put here, which is rather sweet, is over the left ear, if you're single, by the way, over the left ear means you're taken, and over the right ear means you're available. Just as a little notation there. The next photo that she shows here is, you know, tone flowers create a beautiful border. And that photo is going to be coming up here. And that just brings my attention to also is how important landscaping is to why some luxury properties sell and others don't, is when you see that landscaping come into a home, it's so important. And then, you know, other landscaping ideas here is, you know, textured pine tree borders, which will pop up here in a minute. Beautiful here. As you can see, there's a rock wall that would look very stark without the greenery in the bougainvillea. And again, those touches, it's just the emotional appeal that draws people into beautiful homes. And just again, the bougainvillea is used so many different ways. And this is a picture down at Diamond Head. If you're walking around Diamond Head, I'm sure you've seen this wall before. And of course, like at the end of every day, what we're enjoying is a beautiful Hawaiian sunset. And those skies are still beautiful out there. And I know lately we've been having reds and purple skies and enjoying it tremendously personally myself. But wanted to thank you for being with me today. And feel free to reach out. Love to share anything else that you would like to hear. Mahalo. Have a great weekend.